All right, we are back with episode 14, already 14 of Shorty Sneaker Conversations. I'm your host, Shorty C94, Chris Weathers. About to try to see if we can get our guest. Hello, everybody, for joining Low Heart Sneakers. Cool boy Ike got my son in this thing, kicking carve. L Arrive
Hey,
7. Hello.
hello, how are you?
I'm all right, fresh off of work.
Oh, okay, same. I've been off for a little bit, but
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, I appreciate you, being a part of the show. Thank you.
sure, for sure.
All right. Well, let's start off by, telling the people, because we got about 6, 7 people already in here. Hello, everybody. Um, Tell everybody, about yourself right quick.
Sure. I'm Shakir. I go by same-ish New Jays. I am a DMV representative, even though by way of New York. I am an entrepreneur. I write children's books, and I am an entrepreneur. I started out my career as a classroom teacher and left the classroom, started a tutoring and mentoring program about 17 years ago. So that's what I do.
Yeah, you got your lot of hats there. You know what I mean? That's
A
good.
lot of hats, a lot of hats.
Good, good.
And shoes, as you can see.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yes.
You've really everybody I've had on the show has been great and impressed me, and I really appreciate your diversity in your collection. So I do have to ask you, what was the shoe that started it?
Um, ironically, it was Jordan in an indirect way. Not because I got Jordans, but because I couldn't get Jordans, and as a result, I had to really get creative. I'm sorry, I got gum in my mouth. Sorry. I had to really get creative about still looking cool without having the having what everyone considered cool, which was Jordans. So my mom wouldn't let me get them, and at that time, it was always on the news. People were getting killed for their Jordans. So for me, the first shoe that did it was this one, and I haven't even worn it, but I have it. It's the Deion Sanders Diamond Turf.
Diamond Turf 2, 94.
Yes, yes, yes. I remember buying this shoe, and I remember at the time, I've been working since I was 14, so I remember at the time not being able to afford Jordan because it would be my whole check. But I was able to get these in a kid size, and I would take the insole out and squeeze my foot into them. At the time, I probably wore about an 8.5, but kids only went up to 6 at that time. So this was the shoe. This was
A
the
lot of
shoe.
people don't know that about that 6. I remember that. We showing
See?
our age here a little bit, but it's all good.
Well, I'm aging myself a little bit, I think, but it's all good.
Well, all right. What did you wear today? Because I've been at work. I can't have my phone at work. What would you break out today?
Today I had on my Jordan 11s low IE. This is honestly, for me, probably one of the most slept on Jordans, period. I'm not a huge fan of the high Jordan 11 highs. I have a couple pairs, but I'm not a huge fan, but the lows are definitely my thing.
Okay, I can respect it. I thought I was the only person. Like, I don't really like the patent leather low. I like the
Mhm.
IE. The IE feels the best on my foot because regular 11s, they just pinch the side of my pinky. And I don't even really have a wide foot, but like my right pinky toe is struggling. So, you know, it'd be something. So I'm with you on that. Those IEs are great. The black and red ones are supposed to come back later this year.
I saw that. You know what? And and part of this is just cultural because I'm from the DMV, and sneaker culture has changed so much here in probably the last 5 to 10 years. Like when I moved here, literally you had to have, it was 3 shoes you could wear. You could wear New Balance, the 99, like with 99, whatever the gray ones are. New Balance, foam posits. You could wear these. These were like mandatory in the DMV. You
Bacon.
had to
Okay.
you had to have a pair of bacon. Yes. And I had to shout out my girl Key to your soul because I told her I was gonna rock mine. I haven't done it yet, but I will. Um So there wasn't a lot of rain. Like, I think being so close to DC and it being such a political town, it's very conservative in terms of just the color schemes and stuff. And so you would have blacks, reds, blues, and anything outside of that, you really didn't see a lot of. So, you really stood out if you wore a shoe that was contrary to that. So for me, a lot of what I tried to do, because I didn't have a lot of money at the time, was just to wear shoes that kind of just stood out. Maybe that was New York in me, but that was kind of my goal. And I didn't own any of those when they were popular. But
Gotcha.
I do a lot of reaching back now. And a lot of my collection is just me reaching back to get the things that I didn't get then. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. I've spent a lot of time in DC. My best friend went to Howard, and he stayed in Southeast DC for a little while after. So there were a lot of times where, because he's not a sneakerhead, we met over Jordans, but he hasn't had a pair of Jordans since like we were in 5th grade. So when I would go visit him, I would just go to City Sports or DTLR and try to get what we didn't have in Cleveland.
Okay.
We had some spots, but it wasn't like the DMV as far as the sneakers.
Right.
A lot of stuff just didn't come out, and we don't really have SB accounts there. So I used to try to go crazy.
The opposite. I would have to go to New York to get sneakers with like vibrant colors because you just couldn't find it down here. Other than like we wore a lot of K-Swiss here. There was a lot of like Reebok classics for girls, and some girls wore like some of the other shoes, but they were boy shoes. And so,
Yeah.
you either wore them or you didn't. And if you didn't, you didn't have a lot of options. So for me, I had to get creative very early on. I played basketball, but my basketball team, we wore the East Bay specials, whatever was on sale in the East Bay catalog. That's what we wore. So there wasn't any Jordans or nothing like that. It was just Nikes, and we were just happy that they were Nikes. So
yeah.
No.
Well, one thing I try to do with the lives is I'm really bad at interacting with the people in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I'm still working at. So I'm gonna read a couple of comments before we continue. I do want to say hello to everybody who joined. Triflin said, "What's y'all favorite sneaker pickup this year? What's your favorite sneaker pickup this year so far?"
I'm not a collector. I wear all my shoes. The only shoe that I literally, and I don't even keep my boxes, as you see. I like to see what I have. Boxes drove me crazy, and they take up a lot of space. So in order to get all my shoes to fit, I had to take them out the box, and I had to squeeze them in here. And I have shelves. You can't even see the shelves, but I have shelves, and it goes back. But the one shoe that I haven't even taken off the box yet is the I know I got the name wrong.
The threes?
That one, yes, the threes. I have them, and I just got them, and I haven't even taken them out the box yet. I'm just like still in awe. I think it may be one of those shoes that I just kind of just keep. I don't know if they're gonna ever see my feet, but we'll see. So that's definitely my biggest pickup this year.
Okay. That's a good one.
How about you?
For me, it would probably be between the Clot Air Max 1s and Structure Retro that I had been complaining about online for so long. Because, again, my pair from 08 started to crumble. If they were okay, I would have just rolled them out and not bought a new pair. Probably should end up getting one, though, because I love that shoe. The Raging Bull 5 was big for me because I have a lot of Jordans, but I've never had an all red Jordan. So, but other than that, I mean, since I do work for Converse, I've gotten a lot of Converses this year. Okay. So
I got a couple of new Converses that I really like. I really like the Fear of God Converses that I got. I don't know what the names of them are. I mean, everybody has Converses, so I have quite a few. They don't make it to the shelves. I have them in bins. You can't see my bins down here, but I have bins on the bottom where my shoes like that go.
No, I do the
It's
same
not.
thing. Like my side of our garage here is all sneakers, like mainly sneakers that don't have boxes. Um, I have everything kind of split up all over the house of certain categories. I feel you. All of my Converse are in the garage, other than the pairs that I just bought before this show. So,
Converse are the only shoes that I own that I will allow to get just kind of beat, because I feel like they look better beat a little
yeah,
bit, a little bit. Other than that, I don't wear any one shoe that much. I do have my beaters, but most of my shoes are still in pretty good shape because I don't wear any one thing that often.
yeah.
So
It's a few shoes, like it's a few Nike models I feel like you can kind of beat up and they still be okay. The Jordan 3, the Jordan 1.
I love the 3. The 3
Yeah,
recently become my favorite, and I don't know when that happened, but I feel like it kind of crept up on me a little bit. I
well,
was not a huge 3 fan, but the 3s crept up on me. The 3s have recently become one of my favorites. Next to the 1s, and I have a lot of 5s. 3s are probably in my top 5 for sure.
I'll say for me, I've never been a big 9 or a 10 guy, but 9s have really. It's unfortunate that all the colorways they've been coming out with are just straight for hood cats. But I feel like the 9 is like an exclusive hood cat shoe. Like it's rare for them to come out with any OG color block, and they did with that UNC type one. But
Yeah, I have a couple 9s, and I like 9s because they wear well. Like they don't. The 5s, I feel like they kind of shape to your foot a little bit, and they kind of can look kind of warm. But the 9s, I feel like don't. The 9s maintain their shape, and I think they're just really well made, kind of like the 4. But yeah,
because it's certain, and then you have on the other side, you got shoes that don't age well. Like everybody, this newfound Griffey hype, like it's 2008, 2009, is kind of crazy. But Griffeys do not age well. That awful midsole paint. Any trainer really, Nike just kind of slaps them together and just
right.
the old niggas will buy them.
I really don't have a lot of trainers. I remember I watched D Sneaker Freaks interview, and she said she likes white shoes. I hate white shoes. Like I don't own any all white shoes. I don't like. I'm the 5th of 7 children, so I'm very funny. All of my shoes when I was young were hand-me-downs, so they were always dirty. So I'm very particular about my shoes and them not being dirty. So I hate white shoes for that reason.
Nah,
Yeah, so my shoes are always colored, so if they do get dirty, you won't know.
gotcha.
So, yeah.
Now for today, I wore the all white Converse Weapon. I never wear all white shoes. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm short, and I have like an 11 and a half, 12. That's my size. So I'm short. My feet are too big. So, I don't really do a lot of all white myself. I do have a couple of white forces on ice, for the right occasion, but that's just for the right occasion. All right.
I knew I was not going to be able to get the UNC ones. I ended up getting them, but I didn't. So I bought these instead, which I think arguably this is a hot shoe. I paid like $40 for these. So I was super hype about it, but yeah.
Had to have the Michael Jordan, the real Jordan ones. When I posted them, I called them the real Jordan ones. People was like, man, what you mean? I'm like, oh no, man.
Absolutely.
All right, but I know you said you're not a collector because you wear all your shoes, so you don't consider yourself a collector.
I don't, only because, like I said, I wear all my shoes, and honestly, if you just saw my closet 3 years ago, it would have looked completely different. Like I'm blessed, and I know it, and so I donate a lot of my shoes. In fact, I'm kind of feeling away because I was in here. I knew you were going to ask me questions about some of the old stuff, and I had so much like classic stuff. And normally I would donate it to the schools in the area because I was that kid that didn't have the cool shoes, and I know what that feels like. So I would normally go to the elementary, the middle schools, and I would donate them. But because of COVID, the schools were closed, so I just took them to a thrift store. And before I could even get them out the bag, the guys at the store were like pulling through them, like, and I'm like, oh snap, like, and I can't take them back. So I'm like, okay, well, God knows my heart, so it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. But I literally I donated them, and now I find myself trying to rebuy all of them. But I had all the forces. I had the white ones, I had the black, the Phoenix ones, and I had these. So I just replaced these. but I'm working on replacing the other ones. They are way more expensive than I realized, so it might take me a little while to
You know,
complete the set.
it's interesting. You know, with shoes like that, you know, you can say they're kind of niche shoes. It's kind of like, all right, that's the Air Force 180 high, old David
Mm-hmm.
Robinson shoe from '91. Doesn't really look like the OG because they didn't have the pump yet, but the
Right.
year they made the Command Force with the pump. But it's kind of like if you know what those shoes are and you find somebody selling them who also knows what they are, they'd be like $300 sometimes. I call it
Right.
the vortex.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm like, I just gave these away, and now to replace them, I'm gonna pay $500 to replace them. So it's just some shoes that I'll just never have again. But I'm good with it because you know, like I said, I'm blessed in that, and I don't begrudge. That's why I don't collect. Like you know, I got a lot of shoes, and you know,
No, I
it's
got
good.
you. I got you.
Good.
So what is like your favorite shoe?
My favorite shoe. Okay, so now don't laugh. This might lose me my I already lost my DMV card because I ain't had no New Balance or no phone, but hopefully this don't lose my sneakerhead card because this is my favorite shoe. Now, the Jeremy Scott Flower Power. I literally have the whole collection of these. And this is my favorite. I call this my airport shoe because nothing brings people more joy than seeing this shoe. And I just love the reaction that I get when I see this shoe. And this shoe also has special significance to me because I have 2 children. My daughter doesn't even own a pair of shoes, sneakers. But my son was really into, he was a sneakerhead like me. And so my son and I began collecting shoes together. So we both had these shoes. And unfortunately, my son passed away 6 years ago, 7 years in June. But this was the last shoe that we collected together. So this shoe has special significance to me for that reason. So. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I do. I own two pairs of Jeremy Scotts. I don't have those. I always wanted those. Both of mine are just the JS wings.
I have all the wings and I have all the teddy bears. All of them.
I'm gonna show you who I got right quick. I gotta go in this other room right quick.
Let me see them. I would get mine, but they're out of the closet. I see my ladies in the chat. Hey, ladies. Chic and Sneak. Hey, guys.
Whew, I got hit in the head by a shoe.
Never a good thing.
All right, so I have these.
Nice. Okay.
You know,
thank you. I appreciate that.
And these are my favorite between the two. Well, the wings are a little bent, but these, like, I love these. So
yeah,
a little
so
something.
I don't even
like.
I don't wear them anymore. I kind of just put them in the if I am a collector, it's a collector of those. So I don't wear them anymore just because, like I said, the significance of them. But yeah, I have them. I have them all. So
Okay. Got you. All right, now, what would you say influences your sneaker purchasing habits? Like, is it nostalgia? Is it, just I like the color, I want to get all of this shoe? Like, what kind of drives you to buy shoes?
a combination. I think it's a combination of both those things, honestly. I think like a lot of it's the color. Like I love a good colorway. If I can find a shoe with a good colorway, I'll figure out the outfit. I have an outfit for every shoe. And I think that's why I hate getting rid of anything because then I got to find a new shoe for that outfit. But so definitely style influences my purchasing a lot. I'm not a hype beast. It's so many shoes that I pass up on. Even though people on here think that I buy every shoe that comes out, I don't. There's a lot of shoes that I pass up on. Just because every shoe is not for me. And I know that. I honestly, and this is gonna sound strange, and I don't know if you've ever discussed anything like this on your show, and I don't want to get too deep on you.
We can go wherever we go. We'll go wherever we go.
All right, so a lot of it, like you said, nostalgia. A lot of it's my love language. As I said, I'm the fifth of 7 children, so a lot of what I find myself doing now is nostalgic in that it's an intentional receiving gifts is my love language. So it's an intentional thing that I do for myself that I don't have to share with anybody else. No one else passed down to me. So it's probably the most revolutionary act of love that I have, and it's tangible. And I think it sounds weird, but when I come in my closet, I just feel that love, because every single shoe is mine, is mine, and no one can take it. No one else has worn it. Like it's, so.
I understand that completely. Definitely. Well, do you have a holy grail, a shoe that's eluded you, a shoe that you just can't get, old, new?
I don't know. Recently, like I said, I've really gotten into the threes lately. And I really want the Do the Right Thing threes. I don't have them, and I really like them. And I didn't realize how expensive that they were, but I like them a lot. I like them a lot. I have a lot of shoes that I didn't realize were grails until I wear them, and people be like, "Whoa, where'd you get where you get those?" Like I have, and it's crazy because I bought these just on the humble. They were just like regular shoes to me, but somebody was like, "Whoa, I saw those on StockX," and I'm like, "Really? This was the fat tongue dunks. Like these weren't necessarily, And so a lot of my shoes may not be grails to anyone else, but they're grails to me. So like my Jeremy Scotts are grails. I'd never sell them. I got a lot of Jordan 1s. I got lows, I got mids, I got highs. I wear them all. I don't really have any grails because at the end of the day, they're just shoes, but they,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a shoe that you just been chasing that you haven't been able to get, that you really.
If I had one, I guess I was really after the Jordan 1 Balvins. I got those. I got the chunky dunks. I really wanted those. I got those.
Shit, you got everything there.
I got a lot of shoes. I still want, what? I still want the carpet dunks. I really, really want those. I think I'm gonna ask my husband for my birthday. I don't know. My birthday's coming up soon, so I probably should have given him some time to plan for it. But I think I'm gonna ask for them. I think that's what I want.
The carpet company that wear away.
Yes, I probably won't even do that because I don't believe in destruction of shoes. But it's just the idea that you can do it. It's kind of cool to me.
Got you. Okay. How do your family? Oh, I'm sorry. What was you saying?
No, I was simply Kai. That's my birthday twin.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, how does my family?
How do your family and friends feel about this being something you're into?
That's the $1 million question. And I think honestly, every female sneakerhead kind of gets a range of responses to sneaker collections. Like I have heels, I have boots, I have shoes, you name it, I have it. But nothing gets as visceral a response from people than my sneakers. My sister says it's disgusting. She says it's disgusting. You should not have that many sneakers. And I think that I think it's tricky. I think as a woman, I think there are certain ideals that a lot of and for me this influenced a lot of my collecting very early on. Like I was an athlete. I played basketball in high school. I was supposed to play basketball in college, but I realized I like boys better than basketball, so I ended up getting pregnant in college, and that just changed the whole paradigm of things. But when I became a mom, the idea was you need to stop that. That's not for you anymore. Because I had a collection at that point. And so as a mom, you begin shifting your focus. Your focus becomes your kids. And then that becomes, where your time and your energy goes. And I think, like I said, I would watch my son drawing pictures of sneakers like I used to do when I was a kid. And I was like, wow, like this is something that we can bond over. And so it really kind of picked up for me. But I think as a woman, sometimes there is a lot of stigma to being a sneakerhead. I think there's a lot of assumptions that people make. There's a lot of judgments that people make. And it's unfortunate because, you know, if my husband was a sneaker collector, no one would bat an eyelash. But because I am, there's sometimes different energy associated with it. It doesn't bother me anymore, but there was a time where it did. And so I would hide it. Like I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't wear my shoes. I wouldn't wear certain shoes, and I would just, you know, keep them at home. And, you know, but at this point in my life, I got 0 fucks to give. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So, I mean, I have all my shoes, and I love them. And the people that love me, and they know this is where I spend my extra coins if I have it. So,
you know, I want to say this, and this isn't negative in any aspect, but it's like when you take your pictures, you kind of have that, like, I don't give a fuck. You niggas see me. Like, I could just kind of feel that, you know, I don't know
if I get that a lot. People think, you know what, my pictures, and this is what I'm telling you. So you're on screen with me right now, and you can see this. When I smile, my eyes close. And I smile all the time in person. But in pictures, it looks like my eyes are closed. So I had to figure out a smirk that I could do that would at least present like my eyes were open. And then, you know, someone told me that my pictures look like he said it's my can I speak to your manager face? But it's not. It's not, I promise you. I'm as easygoing as they come. I'm a gentle giant for sure. I just, you know, it's just, I had to figure out a way to make it work. I'm tall too, so it's hard for me to take pictures standing up. So it works. And then I've done it so often now that it's kind of become my thing. So now I sit down.
So if you don't mind me asking, how tall are you?
Well, I will tell you, but you know, sometimes folks get a little intimidated when I tell them. So I'm 5'11" and a half. I used to say I was 6 feet, but you know what? Sometimes folks get intimidated by that. But I'm 5'11" and a half, and in heels, I'm an Amazon. So, and I like to wear heels just for the effect, just because it's fun. But I'm 5'11" and a half, and yeah.
Cool. Okay. Now, is there anything in your collection? Because I'm gonna call it your collection. I feel like you're a collector. You could be a collector and wear your shoes, because I wear everything, and I consider myself to be a collector. Is there anything in your collection that you have that's dead stock that you won't ever wear? Or do you just... Hello to everybody joining, by the way. Hello, everybody.
I don't know if there's anything that I would never wear. Like, I feel like if I would never wear it, I wouldn't buy it. Like, it has to be at least an idea that I'm going to wear it at some point. Well, yeah. I wouldn't buy it. Like, I'm not a reseller. Like, I don't care about the money. It's not about the money to me. Like,
for me, it's just certain shoes that I have where I have to have 2 of them. Like, certain shoes, like when we moved, because I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but we moved to North Carolina this past summer in August, and some of my shoes got stolen. It was only about 10 pairs, which out of all the shoes I have, I thought it would have been a little worse. Fortunately, you know, they were able to be replaced, most of them, but they stole my Concords that I wear, but they left the dead stock pair. It was weird. And I'm not willing to undead stock this pair of Concords until I find another used pair that's comparable to the pair that got stolen. So it's that I have to have brand new at all times. Like the black and red 6 is the shoe that got me into it, the infrared 6, when I was in 4th grade, 91. My dad came home with them, and they were glowing, and I love that shoe. Anytime that shoe comes out, I have to get 2 pairs of it. So, you know, it's certain shoes where it'll get worn eventually, but it'll be on ice for a couple years before. So that's, you know, and again, I know that may be weird to some people, but it's just how.
I honestly, ironically, I ended up getting 2 pairs of the Amon Manier, right? And before I could even get it, and I was gonna give it to another sneakerhead that wasn't able to get them, but I ended up, my husband, before I could even get it, promised them to his sister. So, but in my mind, I'm like, that's the perfect shoe to be able to grail, because God forbid, you know, I could wear one and keep the other and you know, really have it just appreciate because of the sentimental value of it. But no, I really don't. Like I literally don't have a single shoe that I haven't worn. Well, it's a lot of shoes I haven't worn. I take that back. But
Mm-hmm.
none that I wouldn't wear.
Got you. Because I'm not a reseller either. I understand why resellers are around. I don't always like some of the tactics, but for me, it's sentimental where I'm like, I can remember being 10 or 12 years old, just wanting the shoe where it's like, yeah,
Right.
I got one I'm aware, but I'm always have one just in case this pair gets fucked up.
Right. No, and you know what? And for me, like I said, being an educator for me and growing up at the peak of the crack epidemic and seeing what young people were doing,
Yeah.
I applaud it for real. Like I think I'll never knock a hustle. I think there's a greed that I think is gonna have to be checked. And I honestly feel like sneakerheads have the power to do it. I just think we have to diversify our tastes. I think because they're just applying a taste. Like, you know, no one's reselling the Reebok. I don't know names and I don't know numbers, so don't get me the line. But it's just certain shoes that resellers aren't cramming for. And if we diversified our tastes, then I think one, folks would end up with a lot more inventory than they're comfortable carrying. Because I think a lot of this idea with reselling is get it, move it quick. Excuse me. Shoot. That's the resellers. I must have said something wrong.
No, I'm with you 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of
But no, I feel like that's the solution.
You know, because it's
The
like,
solution is
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying that the solution is really just to, one, not hype shoes the way that we do, because we kind of set the bar. And I think so lately I've been looking at, I used to have a lot of Asics. I used to have a lot of Sauconys. I don't have as many anymore. But I've been really loving what those brands are doing. So I've been really getting into those a little more and not really tripping off the Jordans and the Dunks. I have a lot. So, you know, I think that's one way. I think when resellers see that they're holding on to stock longer than they're comfortable, and these, you know, a lot of them are young. Yeah. Their parents' credit cards are they not willing to get them credit cards anymore, and they're not willing to, you know, I think they'll move differently. I think their prices won't be that of, you know, just so it can just be greed sometimes. Like I said, I'm never gonna knock anyone's hustle. I think we buy resale in lots of ways, and Lord knows Nike has a 700 times X multiple for what it costs them to make these shoes. So I don't knock the hustle. I understand that commerce is commerce, but I think as someone who just enjoys shoes, the landscape has really become very negative. Yeah.
I do want to say, I appreciate you calling them Sauconys and not Sauconys. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I'm with you a lot. I mean, I really, because I work for a shoe company now, I can't really, like, I have to have Converse around since they're who pays me. But before that situation started, I was trying to go out of my way to at least once, if not twice a week, wear a non-Nike shoe. You know, wear a Reebok or a Puma or an Adidas that wasn't a Yeezy, or, you know, and just try to kind of mix the hype in just to show the variety and diversity. Because when I look at someone's collection, like, one of my favorite things about your collection is the diversity. Like, I have the Bacons, but you fucked me up when you wore them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but everybody in these comments and everybody I've gotten to do on the, you know, interview on the show, it's been a moment where I'm like, all right, I see you, you know. I'm not saying, but I love
that. That's how you know a real sneakerhead.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not just the hype. Like, I love sneakers. Like, it's art to me. I mean, when I look at my shoes and it's like art. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. I love the colors. And I have a lot of the classics, but what I'll do just to kind of give it a new spin is I'll get a different colorway than the traditional one. Like, I'll get the Bo Jacksons, but I'll get them in aquamarine instead of the traditional black and gray, or just my way of kind of paying homage to you know, the classics without, but I mean, then I still have the classics. I still got my up tempos. I still have those, but you know, I mean, I just really appreciate the culture. And I think that as Black women, I don't think we get enough credit for how we shape the culture. I
Nah.
think a lot of what we see, you know, I started my page years ago, but when I first started my page, it was just like a bunch of like the landscape was different. And you know, I started seeing people like Brooklyn Betty and Kiki Oma. I'm hoping that's how you pronounce her name. Seeing people, Winks and Sneaks, seeing people that were wearing sneakers and were making it like okay for Black women to do that because, you know, socially it was looked down upon when Black women did it. It was ghetto. It was not chic by any stretch of the imagination, you know. But then you started seeing the Kardashians running around in Yeezys, and then it became cool and it became chic. And like anything that Black women helped to kind of shepherd, it became something that was no longer ours. And so I think what I really appreciate about this community is that we just make it our own, and there's so much love and so much support within the community that you know, that we were able to just share our passion for sneakers.
Yeah, and see, I'm glad that you touched on that because I've said it on this show before. You know, you all really support each other. Female, I shouldn't say female, you know, ladies, women that are into sneakers. You all really support each other, like for real. Because I've gotten a little bit of hate. Excuse me. Now I got it. You know, I said, now I need to go get some more.
You know what? It's the resellers don't put their juju on us because we talking about.
But it's like why you only, you know, more than half of your episodes have been, you know, women. And I'm like, well, the support is real. It's no hate. And y'all are like genuinely about it. Because so many people
and, you know, and I hate to put this out there, and I hate to do that, and I agree with you 1,000%. And I hate to say this, but women just have more style. Honestly, so many of the men's pages that I follow, it's like you can take the mannequin in the store, they take the outfit from the mannequin, put it on, and that's just it. And some people don't have style, and they throw on a pair of Jordans, and they feel like that does it. So they have fashion, but they don't have a fashion sense. There's so many. It's not every guy, but there's a lot of guys. And I think that what I find with the women, which is so interesting and exciting for me, is that you see their personality in it. Like you see their uniqueness. And I think, unfortunately, specifically for Black men, I think it's not something that some men are comfortable sharing. You know, you can't wear pink, you can't wear this, you can't wear that. And I think a lot of guys get stuck in that mode, and it's a prison because you can't really fully express yourself. Whereas as women, we're able to. And I think it just gives us more freedom. And I think it's dope.
Well, let me just say hello to everybody that's joined over the last couple of minutes. You know, we talking about some real stuff in here. You know what I mean? But I agree with you. A lot of dudes just can't dress. You know, I'm wearing basic shit right now, but I was just at work for like 8-9 hours. But yeah, I really try to put thought into what I wear. Probably a little too much to be as old as I am, but it's what I enjoy. You know what I mean? So, because I was really struggling. Like, I never wear all white shoes, and I was sitting up like, man, what the fuck am I gonna wear with these shoes? Like, matching colors, you know?
Those kind of things will keep you up at night. Seriously, like what? I got these Super Earths, and I'm like, these are so dope, right? And I missed out on every other Sean, what's his name, Wotherspoon. Mm-hmm. I didn't get the Nikes, I didn't get the Asics, I missed all of them. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna get this one, and I won them in a raffle. And I'm like, what the hell do? What the hell am I gonna wear with these shoes? I don't know. I don't know. It keeps me up at night, but I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna rock them, and it's gonna be dope. But I mean, it's a thing though.
Yeah,
it's a.
And I was gonna say we from the same era, so you know, you grew up watching Looney Tunes cartoons. Like, whenever I come up with some shit, you know, and I'll make sure I do it in front of my wife, and I'll be like the Coyote, like super genius when I come up with some shit, because I'm like, how did this come? You know, like,
right.
You know, like It just happens that way. So I don't know.
Right.
You know,
And to me, it's just a form of expression. Like I mean, I'm a creative, and so for me, especially with COVID and everything, there was so little room to create anything. And so I think for me, and that's when I really like COVID really got me out of my shell in terms of, I mean, I dress like this all the time, but I think, because I am a business owner and I spend a lot of my time in suits and, that type of thing. I think that COVID really gave me an opportunity to kind of show the other side of myself and unashamedly and unapologetically. And I think I love it. I love it. And it's awesome because people seem to respond well to it. So,
hey,
pretty cool.
I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? So,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. And I do have to ask, is there a tragic sneaker story, like a pair of shoes you really like got messed up, or a hard L that you took where it's like, man, I can't believe I didn't get them? Because I have a few, but you know what I'm saying? Do you have
yours? Let me hear yours first, and then I may have like, oh, okay, yeah, that's okay.
All right. Well, I told you about how some of my shoes got stolen, so that was tragic. But fortunately, insurance. Some of them, they were like early Vapor Max models, Vapor Max ones. I didn't really care about them too much. It's like, the ones I really cared about, I was able to get back. But the game being on steroids post pandemic, because last year it was weird. Like everything shut down in March. We had a couple of releases. We had the Court Purple one, the DMP6, and the Fire Red 5. They all came out, and people was doing curbside. They weren't really hard to get, but
right.
when the Flints came out May 30th last year, that's what let me know that shit was different, that shit was real. Because we've been in this for a long time. So you figure, it's full family, so it's gonna be a lot of pairs. It's gonna be infant, grade school, soft bottoms, preschool, all that, tons of
right.
pairs. And I have every other Flint 13, the 98, the 05, the 10. I was like, well, I got to get the new pair, just to keep the collection going. And once I couldn't get them, this GR shoe that I've been able to get 3 other times with no problems from 11th grade, because I was 98, I was 11th grade. I couldn't believe I couldn't get them. I just couldn't believe it. And I've had chances to get the newer pair since, but I can't pay over for that shoe. I don't pay over for shoes really at all, but that's still the $150 Air Jordan 13 from 97, 98. Like I can't pay $250 or $300 for no 13. Like I just can't. So that's probably the hardest L that I've took, where it was a shoe I really cared about. That structure was up there, but fortunately I was able to get a pair of them.
Gotcha. So, yeah, those restocked a couple times. I actually got a pair, and I wasn't even checking for them for real. I'm just like, oh, these are cute. I can rock.
Able to get them.
I mean, I think I've taken so many L's. I've had to really develop very tough skin and be like, you know what, on to the next. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I could be focused on what I don't have, or really double down and delve into what I do. And that's kind of the position that I've taken. The other way that I've avoided some of my L's is I started pre-ordering, and so I have a cool guy that I deal with, PG Kicks. I don't want to give away my plug, because then I won't be able to get no other pre-orders. But if I can catch him early, then I can get the pre-orders pretty close to retail, and so I don't feel too bad about it. It means I gotta wait or whatever the case might be, but it's just I'd rather pay for my peace of mind, because waking up at 10 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the morning to get on the app and wait until 9:59, and then at 10 o'clock everything's sold out. It's too stressful. It's too stressful. And I'm big on energy at this point in my life. So I'm like, it'll change your whole energy. You'll get an L on early Saturday morning and your whole mood change. So,
yeah.
So I'm just, at this point, I'm just like, on to the next. Like there'll be another shoe. There'll be plenty of other shoes. And that's it.
Okay. Now you said you had a background, in basketball. You used to hoop. Do you follow the NBA?
No, not much anymore. Not much anymore. I'm a Lakers fan. Well, I'm a LeBron fan. I'll say that. wherever LeBron goes, that's what team I'm rocking with. My son was a LeBron fan. I'm a LeBron fan, and that's just kind of where I am.
Okay.
But and in truth, it's funny because I spoke about this on my page not long ago. I'm like, I never even owned a Jordan until probably about 2011, and I was just randomly, politically, I was a bit of a militant, so in part I was like, oh no, Jordan, a lot of what you would hear about Jordan early on, oh, he don't care about black people, these kids are dying. So I kind of took that up, and I really took that position. And so I wouldn't buy Jordan. I didn't buy him, and I really kind of disassociated myself. But I was at an outlet randomly, and I got a pair of Jordan 1s, Chicago colorway, whole nine, for like $20.
I saw you.
And I was like, okay. And at this time, Jordan 1s were not popping. Like, they just weren't. Like, people weren't wearing them the way they wear them now. And so, to me, I liked it because it looked a lot like the top 10 Adidas that I like. It looked a lot like the Pro 4. It just looked a lot like what I was used to. And that's why that shoe was created in the first place, because it did look like that. So, I got them and I rocked them, and I just really, had to, deal with that, politically. But, at the same time, there are kids dying over lots of things, and we just don't have a name to associate with it. So we don't have a person to pin that on. But I think there is a different level of accountability that we have in the Black community to each other. And I think while Michael Jordan is no exception, I think that, a lot of the material things, if positioned the wrong way, can be problematic.
Okay.
Shoes, there was a time where, if you wore a Avrix coat, or,
Starter jacket,
yeah. Yeah. So,
Marmo.
so as you can see, I'm not opposed to Jordans anymore. I have quite a few. So, yeah.
Yeah, I really, because like I remember that era well. I never owned a Bulls coat or jacket until I was an adult and could buy it myself because my parents just would not. I had a Lakers starter jacket back in the day. Magic was and still is my favorite player, but loved the Bulls. And after Magic had to retire, they became kind of my team. And I couldn't have one. And that Sports Illustrated with your sneakers are your life, where the guy drew the Jordan 5 on it, that put the stigma to me on Jordans and starter coats and stuff, being took, and it blew it. I shouldn't say it blew it in proportion, because people really did lose their lives, but I really feel like that wasn't everybody's experience, and it affected people who weren't in that experience.
No, it wasn't. But my mom was adamant about me not having a pair growing up because of that, because that was the stigma, and that's why, and I'm thankful for it, because it really made me, one, it made me appreciate Jordans a little more as I got older.
Yeah.
But two, it forced me to diversify. It forced me to look at the Deons and look at, the pennies and other shoes that weren't that, were still cool. And I think that's a lot of what I take into my sneaker collecting, now, is that, it don't have to be Jordans. You could wear your Jordans and I can wear something else, and I guarantee you my outfit might be better. You know what I'm saying? Because of what I bring to it. So,
yeah.
I think that, I'm not so caught up on the name. And I'm a creature of habit, I guess, because if I like something, I want all of them. So I got the same shoe. I got the same shoe in 50 different colors. Literally, I got the same shoe in 50 different colors. So it's just, if I like it, I like it. So
yeah, I'm like that. I mean, when people ask me what Jordan I have the most, I tell them one, but I'm like, it's a disclaimer with that. I'm like, a lot of these were pre-hype Jordan 1s. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't from 2016 to present, like, fortunate to have originals and 94s, all that. I just like Jordan 1s. Jordan 1, that I've always liked them. I've always liked, really, I have love for all of the Jordans, even the higher numbers. The only Jordan I really don't rock with, and I still have almost every color with, is the 15.
ugh, you know what? And I honestly have looked at the 15 recently, and I'm like, it's not that bad, but I don't have any. The
The word
14 is as far as I go. The 14 is and you know what? To me, it's ones, fives, ones, threes, fives, nines, and 14s. Like those are my favorite Jordans. And I think to me the 14s are just the most well put together of them. Like I love this shoe. Like I'm like, this is so much detail and so much like, I mean, the ones are pretty plain for what it's worth. Like there's not a lot of detail or energy put into it. But that's kind of why I like it too. But the
Yeah.
14s, I just feel like it looks like it looks like art.
Yeah, I mean, it was based on a Ferrari, so it was really well put together shoe. I didn't like it to actually play basketball in because I
No,
was,
I wouldn't play basketball in it. I don't know how people play basketball in any of these shoes because they're heavy and clunky and.
now they've never made it feel like the original, but like when the 13s were just the new Jordans, they were pretty good. The 13s were pretty good back in the day. But they're really the only Jordans I can say I liked playing basketball in. Because even the 12s, I had some good games in them, but they were heavy. Wasn't a lot of ventilation, so your feet would get hot.
Yeah.
So the 8 was like that too. But
I've never played basketball in a Jordan. Ever.
wow.
Ever. I have basketball shoes and that's what they're for. And I try to get into some of the, and my basketball shoes aren't even really hype shoes. They just comfortable shoes. Probably out the East Bay catalog, like in high school. Like in high school. But they just lighter shoes. Like I prefer lighter shoes. They gotta be high top. A lot of the shoes nowadays for basketball are low. I mean, I was a post player, so I'm moving a little bit, so I need something that's gonna support my ankles. So, I don't know. I don't really get into a lot of the newer basketball shoes, but I've never played in a Jordan though.
Okay.
Ever.
So, I got to ask now. So what was your favorite shoe to play in?
Like I said, we didn't really play in any hype shoes. The last shoe that I played in before the pandemic, the last shoe that I played in was the LeBrons, and I don't even know what number they are. I think I gave them to one of the kids. Yeah, I donated them to one of my kids. Not my kids, but one of the kids that I know. But they were just a LeBron. They were like a fly knit kind of, maybe like the 10 or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it was just and even those were just really heavy. Like to me, they were a little heavy based on what I'm used to. But no, I mean, I never played basketball on a pump either. I had pumps, but I never played in them. They were usually Nikes, but they were never anything fancy.
Gotcha. Okay. And the reason I ask, about basketball anyway is because when we talk about what purchases are or what influences our purchases, since I'm still into basketball, love for certain players, like if I didn't love Allen Iverson, I wouldn't have questions and answers. Like I just wouldn't. It's because I have multiple
That's
shirts.
cute.
Nobody fucks with.
Right.
I just if I rock with that player, I'll wear his shoes. I mean, I'm a Lakers fan. I have been since Magic and Worthy. So I hate the Clippers, but I still like, for some reason, I don't even feel like Paul George should have a shoe. But since I mess with him,
I actually really like his shoes, honestly. Like his shoes were one of the only shoes that I felt like were kind of cool. I like those NASA ones that he came out with. I thought they were kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of a player, I mean, it is what it is. I have LeBrons, but I never played basketball in them. Like this was my favorite ones.
Oh, the 10.
Of the LeBron.
Yeah, I have that exact pair as well.
Yeah, I have a couple of this colorway. Well, of different colorways of this one, but yeah, LeBron. I mean, I love the artistry that he puts into, and I really wanted the Harlem Fashion Row collaboration with that group of black women artists. I really wanted that, but I could never get them. But
yeah, the 16.
Anytime I see a woman collab, I try to grab it up. I've not been able to get any of the I don't know how to say this girl's name. Alayali.
Layla.
I like all of them, but I've never been able to get a pair. I did just buy a pair. Unfortunately, I had to pay resale, but I was like, it's a movement, so let me be a part of it. But like Melody Asani, like though if I had a grail, that would be it. The Melody Asani ones. Like when I tell you, oh my God. Like every time I see them, I'm like, oh my God. Just get sick to my stomach. Like I can't. One day I'm gonna break bread, but I always tell myself if I get to a point where I pay $1,000 for a shoe, yeah, I don't know that I can do that. Fundamentally, I don't know because in my mind I'm cheap, so I feel like I could get 10 pair of shoes for that. So
honestly, I'm the same way. Honestly,
yeah.
Like, man,
so I mean,
like,
I appreciate it from a distance.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the shattered backboards because
I do have her Reebok. I have some of her Reebok collaborations though. Like I have the Iverson ones that she did with Reebok. I have and very creative too. So she did that little, like I have the ventilator ones with the little eyeball on it.
Yeah, I like
those.
those.
So those are cool. And I have the Tiana Taylor Reeboks. And I have the Olivia Kim. So I try to get, when there are female or ladies that collaborate on these brands, I try to support as much as I can. Yeah. But they gotta be dope. I can't just support it just because it's a woman collaborating. Because there's some things out there that's kind of crazy. But those are ones that I really like. But I've not been able to. I really want those Ali sixes. Those are crazy.
Yeah,
I would love those. But yeah, when I'm ready to put down a mortgage payment on a shoe, I'm gonna get those Melody Asani's. That's what it's gonna be. That's on my list.
I got it.
But
now, are there any extra challenges you've had to face being in this game because you're a woman?
Other than the stigma, I think, and when you're dealing with resales, a lot of times because you're a woman, they assume you don't know anything, so they tax you, and and when you don't, and that's challenging. But I think that for me, the biggest challenge I've had with respect to this is just the stigma associated with it, like the assumptions people make and the attitudes and ideas about women in sneakers. I think what I'm seeing, the landscape has changed. I think people have a very clear idea of, and I think we talked about this earlier. Like, I think black women have ushered this culture in. Black men were wearing Jordans, yes, because they like Jordans, but also because Shaniqua down the hall, she know I'm fly. And if you knew, and if the girls in your neighborhood said your shoes was corny, you wouldn't wear those shoes anymore. So black women absolutely shaped a lot of this culture. And then beyond that, we wore them too. And I think that there was always a stigma associated with it though. And I think what we're seeing now is that you see many women, not women of color, you see more of them, and they're in a closet, they're in a room like this, and it's all likes. It's, oh wow, you're so awesome, you're so this. And I think as black women, that's not the energy. It's just not. And I think maybe that will change. And I think there's a lot at play. I think there's a lot of misogyny that's a part of that. And I think that there's a lot of misogyny in the sneaker industry too. Like, if for a lot of the guys follow, the love is not real. It's as real as how far can I get in this DM. That's it. That's it. Your shoes are cute, but I'm here for hoes and high tops. That's why I like to joke around with. It's unfortunate, but that's
there's a lot of it.
It is. It's true. And so, I think that what I love, like I said, about this culture and about the women that, I've just fallen in love with in this space is that it's not that, what I'm saying? It's not about that. And it's really just about the art and the love and the uniqueness and the personalities and how you can express your personality with this shoe that everybody has, or a shoe that nobody has. How can you make it hot? And I think for me, that's what I'm in it for. I think that's really what brings me to the space and makes me want to come back every day. I post more for this page than I do for my business page half the time. I shouldn't, but I do. Because it feeds you. You know what I'm saying? The energy is different, and the way that people, you know, it's just create the creation. Like, you know, I see these amazing, and just going back to the point, like these amazing Black women creating this amazing content, you know, Chic and Sneaks, like the stuff that she does is amazing. Or Simply Kaya, like the stuff that she does, Nike should be paying her for that. But they don't. But I know that if sometimes it just takes the right, you know, the complexion for the connection is what the old folks say. And those are the people that get the deals. They got the endorsements. They have the this, they have the that. And it's unfortunate because, you know, for so much of what we do bring to the culture, you know, we don't necessarily get the credit for it. And I mean, for me, I'm not looking for no credit or no validation. I like what I like. But I think some of these women do deserve credit for what they do.
I do as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So is the recent collab threes, because I can't say the name either, are those your top?
No. So many shoes. My mailman. Listen, my mailman hates me. The FedEx guy knows me by name. It's real around here. Like my neighbors, yeah, it's real. It's been real. My most recent cop probably, like, what did I just get? And again, I spend a lot of time, like I said, reaching back. So a lot of the stuff that I get is new to me, but it's not necessarily new. So I did get those.
More than somebody just telling me. I like these kind of pickups more than somebody being like, oh, I just got the university blue ones. Like, everybody got those, except me.
Yeah, and you know, and I'm one of those people like, oh, okay, I like who everybody else doesn't like. You know, and New Edition, if everybody liked Ralph, I was gonna like Ricky. That's just the way it was. That's just how I am. So I like to be different. So people hated the Hyper Royal ones. You know, these, like, they were like, I could have got these for like $100. But I think these are dope. Like, I love the material. I think they're awesome. But they aren't hyped, and they're not, you know, what people, you know.
I'm with
that's what I'm saying.
Those are real Hyper Royals.
Yeah, exactly. The real ones, you know. But I mean, I just really, I just like what I like. Like, I bought so many shoes. You know what? I had to finally represent for my DMV folks, and I've not worn these yet. But I did go ahead and buy the Eat New Balance because, you know, Eat is a local brand that I love. And, you know, you can't really beat from it's like a birthright to have New Balances in the DMV. So I can't really even represent if I don't have them. So now, I have those.
Does the 574 matter out there?
I think it's like the 992s, 997s. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know. Like I said, I probably lost my card on this interview, so thank you very much for that.
Hey.
But let's see. Let me look at my Air Max stuff. I feel like I just got some Air Maxes the other day that I finally completed the lemonade collection. Like, I got the strawberry, the lime, and the lemonade. Let me show you a shoe that a lot of people really slept on from back in the day that I just love. The Air Moab. You remember these?
I have them.
I love these shoes. And every time I wear them, people are like, what are you wearing? I love ACGs too. So that's one of my most recent picks. I got a couple pair of ACGs that I really like. Not hype shoes or nothing like that. Just shoes that I think are cool. I finally broke down and got the Hawaii Dunks. I got those. Okay. I got a decent price on them, so I said, let me just do that. But honestly, I just like to find things that everybody doesn't have. Like, I got these Jordan 1s, and I know a lot of people don't have them because every time I see them, people are like, what are those? You ever seen these before?
What is that, the Celtics? Yeah, is that from the 2-pack with the bread?
This is a woman's collab. When did they launch this one? I actually bought these from Canada because I couldn't find them here anywhere. This is It's a premium Jordan 1. But like the leather on it, the colorway on it is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I kind of like stuff like that. I kind of like, you know, stuff that
I love
really.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I love the Moab. It's because of the booty around the ankle. It's like you got to find the right pants because I don't want to cover the ACG side of the side. Like niggas need to see that for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The shoe just doesn't look like a rock. Wear your pants over.
and you can't have cankles because if you got cankles, it's gonna show. I also got the Olivia Kim version. This collaboration
need those, man.
This collaboration was really dope too. So I got these just because for nostalgia's sake I needed to have them. But my latest, I actually have a resale friend that I literally have never traded or sold a pair of shoes before, but I did recently, and I got rid of one of my I had 2 pair of these, so I got rid of one because I had 2 pair, and I decided I wasn't gonna be gluttonous, so I got rid of one. I traded him one, and I got the Michigan 5s and the UNC 9s. So
9. That's a good 9.
It is a good 9. I was not able to get the Change the World 9s, but I'm gonna work on it.
It's only a matter of time.
It is. It's a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. It's just when I feel like pulling the trigger. What happens is when I lose on the sneakers app, I find myself, it's the most toxic relationship ever because I lose on that app and I find myself going buying another pair of sneakers. Like,
Yeah.
But I'm only hurting myself. But I feel like it takes the pain away a little bit.
Absolutely.
I got the Carmines, but I honestly don't want to wear them because I'm praying that they do turn pink because I think that would be kind of dope if they did, and I would wear them then. But again, I told you I don't like white shoes, so that's the only way I would wear them is if they turn pink.
Do those qualify as white?
It got a lot of white in it. No, you don't. They're not white to you?
Not really, but that's just me. I just want to say hi to everybody who joined. What's up, Vaughn? What's up, Fly Trucker? What's up, everybody still, watching. Definitely appreciate it.
There's one white shoe that I have that I do wear. The fire red 5s.
Silver
I do wear these. Yeah. But mostly just like to run around. But
now that's one of the shoes that I know it's gonna sound bad. I donated 2 pairs before we moved down here. I still have 4 pairs of that sneaker.
That one?
I have 2 pairs from 2013 and 2 pairs from last year.
Wow.
So that's one of them. That's my favorite 5. Like, and again, I'm gonna grab a pair here. Now, all right, this pair, it's pretty yellow. It's pretty worn. With certain outfits, this looks better than. Let's see here. It looks better than like the fresh one. Certain the older one just looks better. I have the Carmines like that too, where the older pair.
Yeah. No, I mean I think it's just character. I think you can get the same effect that you would get from the off-white 5s with that kind of with that look. I have the only dunk. Well, no, that's not true. I like variety and I like options, but I do not have the plum dunks, and I do want them, but I'm not willing to pay that much for them. I was wearing dunks like when it was really uncool. Like I used to get teased for wearing dunks because it's what I could afford. So I mean the dunks with the fat tongue.
Yeah. I
go in the store and the white folks would look at me like DTLR's down the hall at the mall because you must be in the wrong store. I'm like, no, I can get 2 pair of dunks for $100. I mean, like I was working, so I was buying my own shoes, so I had to make it stretch. So I mean, that's how I got like my De La Soul dunks. Like those are old, but now they're like popular again. But I just buy what I like.
Yeah,
not really hype.
I have the most of.
The Dunks?
It's the single shoe I have the most pairs of.
For me, well, single style or just single brand?
Single style.
Okay.
Like
it would definitely be ones for me. I probably have it as ones for sure. Okay. I don't count my shoes, but I have several rows of ones. Like that's the majority of what I have. And I have a section in the back that's all ones. And I'm kind of like I don't know if I even qualify as a sneakerhead because I don't have boxes. I don't have the closed front. You know, I'm trying to save the rainforest. You know, I mean, I'm trying to, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, I'm trying to recycle my boxes. I'm trying to be black and green, you know, and
there, you're there.
I've gotten rid of all my boxes, and you know, and it's crazy because you know I don't live in the hood, but I'm hood adjacent. I like to live close enough to the hood where you can still get your hair done when you want to and get the food you like to eat. So I like to be hood adjacent. So I got to break down my boxes so folks don't, you know, see what you're really working with. So box day is always an interesting day around here. But yeah, I mean, I just like to be able to see what I have. Like I like to be able to see. Like I said, it's like art to me.
Oh, I get it.
If I could get a double pair of any shoe, it would be the biohacks though. I love them. Like it to me that if I was a shoe, that would be it.
Gotcha.
The Jordan 1 biohacks. I love them.
Yeah, like initially I didn't get them because I have the undefeated dunks that they're based on. But once I looked at it, I'm like, you know, they're different enough where I can have them both.
You can. You definitely can. So. You can. For sure.
All right. You know,
and some shoes grow on you. Like, you know, some shoes you don't like right away and they grow on you. Like I bought these Air Maxes. I have an Air Max shelf and I'm a big Air Max 90 girl. Like I don't really have I don't have the dope boys or anything like I bought these for my sister. She saw them on Instagram and she loved them. She was like, oh, find me these shoes. And I found them for her and I was like, those are disgusting. I would never wear those. And I saw them, I was like, those are kind of dope for real. Like those are kind of, you know,
yeah.
I could work with those. Yeah. So I ended up getting them. I haven't worn them yet, but I have a million ideas of what I can do with them. So
yeah, my wife copped those. I was surprised that she got them. I'm like, all right, I'm just waiting to see what you do. What she do with them. So I'm waiting to see what you do and what she does.
Listen, it should be interesting. I'm waiting to see what I do with them too, because I have lots of ideas. But you know, it's interesting though, because that dynamic of, you know, husband and wife. I've never seen two sneakerheads in a relationship together. Like I feel like fundamentally it could be. I've never seen it. Not to say that it doesn't happen. My husband has about 6 pair of shoes total. And so he looks at my closet like, okay. And I just recently convinced him to give me his closet so that I can extend my shoes into his closet. He's going to take another closet. You know, it's all about keeping peace in the home. Keeping peace in the home. And so, so he's going to give me his closet so I can properly have my shoes, and not even so much sneakers. This is my sneaker closet, and a lot of the reason why I donate a lot is that he made me come up with this rule that for every shoe that I buy, I had to get rid of one. So I really have to like a shoe to keep it, like for it to make it through the ranks. I have a bag of shoes right now that I'm donating. But for like my heels and my boots and stuff like that, and clothes. So yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me? Anything or?
What is your grail? I think you alluded to it a little bit, but like what is a grail that you have that, because I've watched your page for a little while and I look at your boxes and I'm like, he got some stuff and I can tell. So what is a shoe that you have that people will be like, wow?
I'll just show the two that usually get the most attention. The 94 Chicago ones.
Wow. Okay.
The 85 neutral grays.
Wow.
I found these at a thrift store in 2008 and they were $2. So, you know,
are they your size?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
wow.
they're like a half size small, but
Got you. Would you ever wear them?
I wear them all the time.
Do you?
Not all the time, but I've worn them several times.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
these are probably, and I have new Jordan ones that are an 11 where that's all I could get. These are definitely an 11. They're just, they're intact. So I wear them here and there. The first day we lived in North Carolina, I wore them.
Wow.
So those are, but
Are those your most sentimental shoes?
the Chicago's are because I've had them since 8th grade.
Really?
Like I've had them since '95.
Wow.
And they're an 11, but I can still fit them somehow.
Hmm.
So,
They've mended to your foot.
yeah, and I really believe that they used to make shoes bigger back in the day because this shoes that I've had, my foot's the same size. I'm like, God, these feel so small,
I started feeling like a giant. I wore 8.5 for as long as I can remember, and then all of a sudden, nothing in the 8.5 fit me anymore. And now I'm a 10, and I'm like, unless I'm growing, my feet have grown.
A
But no,
10.
a 10 in women's.
Okay.
My feet are actually pretty small for my height. I get that a lot. But you know what? I recently got that I really wanted a long time ago. I recently bought the Levi Jordan 4s.
Whew.
Yeah, I recently bought those. So I have certain shoes that I'm like, you know what? I'll spend a little bit on them because they're more sentimental. I recently bought those.
These are similar to my toe cap Jordan 10s.
Wow.
I've had these since the 90s as well, so they're very old but still wearable.
I don't have any 10s. Not one pair of. I don't think so.
I don't know. I've never been a big 9 or 10 guy. I don't know if that's because he was retired or because they're plain. I got them at the time because they were the Jordans, and there was times where I was like buying everything. But if I had to pick a favorite, I don't know, man. I love the 7 and the 8, like the 7 and the 8, the 6, like really 1 through 8.
I've grown to appreciate the 6 much more than I did in the past. I have several, but I love the like I said, the artistry. I love the little lip on the back. I think it's really cool. Just the little things about it.
This is a custom I did a little while back because
Oh wow,
I have a regular pair of these that I've only worn, but I found these at a Plato's Closet. They were like $60, and I'm like, I'm gonna try the bleach thing with that because they're my size. So, and I took the dog tag from my original DMPs that crumbled, and I just put it on here and just some random stuff, since you talked about 6s. I mean,
no, I have a pair of 4s like that. So I bought them because the lady called them burnt toast. So she took a black pair of Levi 4s and bleached them, and they are and I can't get to them now because they're behind this shelf, but prettiest, and so it inspired me because I had a pair of Jordan 4s that were denim. They're not the Levi ones, but I put bleach on mine too, just to create a little, a different, a little different variation. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that you can do that with the denim ones.
Okay. So, as we, near wrapping up, what are you about to go get next? Is there a new release or other stuff that you kind of got lined up, or?
I have lots of dunks that I want. I have a lot of shoes on pre-order too. Like I have I pre-ordered the pollen ones. I pre-ordered the patina ones. I pre-ordered the Hyper Royal ones. I have the Turbo Green, but I wanted the Hyper Royal ones as well. I pre-ordered the Rust 3. I mean the Pink 3. I guess that's Rust. I guess that's the color that they call that. Anytime a new 14 comes out, I try to get them. So I pre-ordered the Shadow 14s. So I pre-ordered a lot. So that kind of quenches my appetite for the most part. I'm just waiting for them at this point. But coming up. I actually won a raffle, not a raffle, but I won the a reservation for the Jordan for the UNC 4, so I'm going to pick those up tomorrow. I did a lot of raffles for the Sacai's. I have several pairs of Sacai's already, but if it's new, I kind of want it. So I I did some raffles. I'm not likely to win the raffle, so I don't really trip too much, but I really like the brown colorway that they have. I did a couple raffles for the Travis Scott 6s. I'm not even a huge fan of it. I love the glow in the dark aspect of it. But honestly, if I had the choice, I'd rather get the other ones, the olive green ones. I don't have any of the hype collabs like that. I have a couple of dunk collabs. Like I have the off-white UNLV dunks, and I have the rubber dunks, the off-white ones like that. But nothing really. Yeah. Dunks have really been my thing. So if anything, I really want the Michigan dunks, the Spartan ones. I want the Spartan ones, and I want the blue and yellow Michigan ones. I have the high top Michigan ones, but I don't have these. These were one of the ones I was really excited to get, though. Like I cried when I took an L on these because I wanted these so bad.
Yeah,
I haven't even worn them yet, and you know what? It's one of those quirky kind of shoes that I think is gonna really grow on me. But I don't know. Just a couple of things that I want. But like I said, I'm at a point now where I'm like, you know what? God is working on me, telling me to be appreciative for what I have, and to just, if I get it, so that I'm at a place now where if I get an L, it's not like detrimental. I don't have to go immediately call up a reseller. Hey, I'll pay whatever to get that. I'm not there anymore. So now I'm just kind of chill. I picked up a couple oldies but goodies. Like I haven't worn them yet on IG, so I don't want to show them, but I'm gonna show them to you because you might go crazy when you see these. Just little oldies. Remember these up tempos? I wanted these so badly when I was in, I guess, middle school. So I recently got those.
Yeah, the Air Up.
Yes, I recently got those. What else did I recently get?
A lot of I said I'm impressed with those.
It's impressive. It's impressive. Now when I wear them, and when I post them, you got to act surprised. So since I showed it to you, but
if I wear mine, you got to do the same.
I will. It's only right. It's respectful. So yeah, I mean, I really, a lot of what I'm looking at now is just like a lot of old stuff. Like I don't like a lot of the old basketball sneakers, honestly, because they're very clunky, and I don't like big bulky shoes. Like I donated a pair of Bacons on this last donation run that I wish I would have kept. Like they were the turquoise and teal and like
gray,
pink. I wish I would have kept them because I never even wore them, but
gotcha.
I
remember those.
Yeah, so those were. I really like the Bacons. Like I said, I'm from the DMV, so it's kind of like it's a requirement. Yeah, no, I mean, I other than a couple of dunk lows that I kind of have my eye on, I'm not really tripping off anything really right now. How about you?
I mean, the only thing that I really want, and they came out yesterday, was the Air Max 96, the white, navy, and yellow. The only reason why I haven't purchased them yet is my wife's birthday is April 30th, and I just need to,
You married a tourist. That means you married well.
Yeah, but since they were just on Nike and not on sneakers, I'm hoping that they kind of just hang around for a little bit, kind of like how the Tune Max, since it's brown, a lot of people don't know how to dress it, so it's not really selling like up. So that's what I'm hoping happens with the 96.
You know what? And it's funny you say that because I got a pair. I am not a big Air Max One fan. I mean, Air Force One fan. Like, I'm not. And I don't know. I know everybody else is, but I'm not. But I have a pair of Air Force Ones that I'm dying to wear. I just don't know what to wear with them. And I think they're so dope. Have you ever seen these before? They're like I don't even know how to pronounce the leather, but it's like a Tachetta leather and it has like the
Vachetta
pocket. These are beautiful shoes. I don't even want to wear them. They're so beautiful, but I feel like I should, but I wouldn't even know where to begin wearing them. I think Air Force Ones are clunky to me, so I don't really wear
and
a lot of Air Force Ones.
those were really expensive when they came out because I had them at the store I was working at because it was those, the first LeBrons, the foam posits, a low top blazer, and maybe it was another shoe. And those Forces were like 250 or 275 because of the Vachetta tan leather.
Really?
Foams were like 300. I wanted them, but it was something else coming out around the time because that was 2017. I was working at the store called Exhibition in Cleveland. It's like our own Year Zero Nike account in the whole city. But I didn't buy them. I should have because by that point I was like, I don't really fuck with mids anymore. It's either got to be high or low. But those were special enough where I should have bought them anyway.
They're beautiful, I don't know what I would ever wear with them, but yeah, I don't have a lot of Air Force Ones, and I'll probably lose my New York card for that.
Nah,
So
hey, no, same ish, new
this
J's.
interview resulted in a lot of revocation of my privileges.
Nah.
You got a lot of Air Force Ones if you're from New York, like uptowns, like that's. But I don't. I'm not a Nike fan.
I don't know. I mean, it's to me, everything has its place. You know, like since I'm a dude and I'm over 40 now, I'm supposed to. I still have a lot of Forces. I have a lot of Dunks, but you know, niggas take whatever from me. You know what I'm saying? I know what I do and I know what I got. So, you know,
Right.
niggas gonna say anyway. But they ain't taking nothing from you.
Oh, see, you gonna make a thug shed a tear right now. I appreciate that. Oh my goodness gracious, I appreciate that. No, for real.
You know,
for real. And it's so good because it's like you don't in real life like you don't get that kind of appreciation like for something like this. Like I said, my family's like Shakira and her. What did you buy again? Shoes. It's that type of energy. It's not like something that's appreciated. So it's like to be in a space and that's why I love this community so much is like, we like what we like. If it was purses, and I got tons of purses, no one ever questioned me about my purses. But, because of sneakers, everyone has an opinion. So, but I love it.
And to me, I mean, it's kind of, it's just crazy that it's that way. But hey, people know you. People know me. They know, if you want to get me a gift, just give me some sneakers.
No, I don't want anyone buying me sneakers because because I have unless it's a sneaker that I want, I need to send you a link. Don't buy me no sneakers because then I don't want to have to tell you. I mean, because I'm going to accept it because I was raised right, and I'm going to be gracious, but then I might not wear it. And then every time I see it, I'm gonna feel bad about it. So let me send you a link. Better yet, cash at me. Cash at me. Let me get the sneaker that I want.
Well, see, I've had like, man, I got a lot of shoes, man. I ain't got to them yet. I get to them.
No, I would feel bad every time I saw that person. I feel like I owe them money or something. No, don't buy me no shoes.
Like,
don't.
My wife has been really. She's gotten me a couple of grails, and she's won stuff after I've taken L's off of it. I don't know how. I still don't know how she's won some of the stuff she's won for me. But like before her, some of the girls I dated would buy me sneakers, and it's like, this is what you think of me, like, I feel it.
I'm surprised, and people have, and this is why I've gotten to this place. People have bought me shoes, and I'm like, now I got more swag than this. Like, why would you buy me this shoe?
Yeah.
I can wear this shoe. No, I'm just playing. It's not like that, but it's like, like my husband bought me an awesome pair of Wonder Woman. When the movie came out, it had like a limited edition Reebok, and it's dope. Like I wouldn't want to wear it because it's like, oh, he bought it for me. It's sweet. And like I said, receiving gifts is my love language. So, it's different. But give me a gift card.
See, if somebody came with some bullshit, I'd find it as a personal challenge. Like, all right, so they got me some Nike, Air Max XE or some old bullshit, something I wouldn't buy myself. I'm gonna still swag it. It just show you,
I mean, I would definitely try to, but I have a very, no, I mean, I have a very eclectic taste. I have some shoes that would probably surprise you. Like, I got these, and I haven't worn them yet, but I love them. These Dornbachers, they're skateboard shoes, but like, I can't wait to,
Which one?
but I don't know that someone else would see these and think of me.
Okay, the Janowski's, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. I don't know that someone would see those and think of me, but if they did, I could appreciate that. But I just don't know. Plus, you're likely to give me something I already have. So it's easier just to give me a gift card. Buy me a book. Next to shoes, the only thing I have more of than shoes is books.
Okay.
Lots of books. Buy me a book. I can appreciate that. The teacher in me always appreciates books. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. I definitely, you've left me speechless. You came with the Moabs, everybody came not one but two pairs. I had the original color. You came with the Olivia Kim's, I'm still hurt. Has them. You got them. I don't have, I know it was a lady's shoe, but they made it big enough for me. So.
Okay. Yeah, they definitely did. They definitely did. But you got so many. So many. I mean, you pulled out a shoe that's older than my children. So I can say nothing. I can say nothing. I mean, and probably worth more than them. I might have to trade one of my children for that shoe. So, for that shoe, I heard that didn't one just sell for like some crazy number?
Yeah. But see, that's what I show people. Like, it's been about Jordan 1s for me. It's nothing new. You know what I mean? It's been about the ones. So, because I'm into basketball. I mean, if Converse ever brings back all the Magic shoes, I'm gonna be wearing them like I wear the Jordans. The Magics, the Birds, the Isaiahs, all of that. Because I
Right.
basketball. I post a lot of old basketball shit on my page. So, and the sneakers.
You gonna make me try to play basketball in some Jordan 1s now. You gonna make me try.
See, now I don't want to say that because there's no support there on the ankle. I don't want nothing to happen.
It's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Even Mike didn't go into the post until like later in his career with the 12 and the 13. So he wasn't posting up in no ones.
You see, good point. Good point. So I might have to go deeper into the line to get some support.
Right from 5 on up.
Right.
But yeah. But I really appreciate you, taking time out of your busy schedule to be a part of this.
For sure. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was so nervous. I really was. I was nervous. I was like, oh, what's he going to ask me?
Nah, I ain't going to come with nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? I knew the eyebrows was going to be there. You was going to be there. So I got to,
that's it.
Anyway.
That's what someone told me. He's like, you ain't nothing but a head, some dimples, and some shoes. At this point, nobody even knows how tall you are. Nobody knows none of that. I'm like, I like a little mystery. So it works for me. It works for me.
Use my language, but you like, yeah, nigga, you see me. You see me.
No, for sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's been awesome.
No problem. And I definitely gotta have you back through to do this again.
For sure. I'm sure I have lots of new shoes to talk about.
I hope I will. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and go.
All right. Take care.
All right. Peace.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining.